The day after the inauguration of President Donald Trump, an estimated 3.5 million people in cities around the country and the world took part in the Women's March, protesting the Trump agenda in what may have been the largest collective protest in American history. The march started with a single Facebook post and grew from there. In Raleigh, North Carolina, Professor Zeynep Tufekci was one of those faces in the crowd.
Marches are great, they're empowering to people, but the magic isn't really in the streets by itself or any online action. It's when you look at the protest and you're, say, a legislator, right? You're thinking, if they can march with 1 million people, what else can they do?
Tufekci teaches in the School of Information at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and is the author of the new book, Twitter and Tear Gas, The Power and Fragility of Networked Protest.
The twist in the 21st century seems to be, since we can do things much easier with digital technology, they don't necessarily have the same level of teeth a similar action, say a March on Washington, might have 30, 40, 50 years ago, because that was the result of a long process of organizing.
The March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in 1963 took 6 months to organize, arranging buses, bag lunches, singers, and speakers for 250,000 who attended. Tufekci says the march was a show of strength for the civil rights movement built over the previous 10 years.
It pushed the people in power to take the threat pretty seriously.
1 year later, Congress passed and President Lyndon Johnson signed the landmark Civil Rights Act of 1964.